We have the Yu-Gi-Oh! Rulebook on here just for people with the rules, the Forbidden Limited list, and Duel Day history. Again, like a normal tournament, items to bring, your deck, calculator, have the Yu-Gi-Oh! Neuron app, tokens, game mat, optional items, dice, notepad, pen, food, and drink. Objective, once a year, an all-day Yu-Gi-Oh! Extravaganza to determine who will be the Duel Day champion. There's multiple ways on how someone can become champion. You can win all 3 Duel Day events, free-for-all, tag, singles. Win 2 out of 3 Duel Day events, free-for-all, tag, singles. Win 1 of the Duel Day events and place the highest in the other 2 corresponding events. Game modes, free-for-all, tag, singles. Here are the basic rules. So people, you might be asking, what's the free-for-all? It's basically, if you ever watch Battle City, the episode where Yugi, Kaiba, Joey, and Merrick are all dueling to determine who's going to duel who. That's what the battle is. So it's very anime-esque. Everyone's allowed to draw for their first turn. No player can attack until everyone's had their first turn. The player with the most life points left when someone hits 0 wins. Very, very anime-esque. It's very fun, very chaotic. If you haven't had a chance, you should definitely play with your friends. It's a great little different thing for the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Tag team rules. Each player gets to draw on their first turn. No player can attack until everyone's had their first turn. And the team with the most life points left when another team hits 0 is the winner. Pretty simple. And then the singles tournament, conducted in an official Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament way. Multiple rounds of Swiss depending on the number of participants. Each duel will be a match, best 2 out of 3, siding included. Whoever has the best record of the Swiss round wins the tournament. In the event there's a tie, those duels will duel in a championship match. In the free-for-all and tag match, we like to call anime rules. You get to draw on your first turn. Single tournament, player cannot draw on their first turn because it's an official thing. So, for Duel Day 2, we have these duel cards. It has their name and like the history of what they've done at Duel Day. You would say, where did I get the idea of making these duel cards? If you remember in Battle City, Seto Kaiba had these star ratings for the duelist to get the duel disc to enter his tournament. Like Yugi right here is 5-star, and then Joey right here is a 1-star. So this is where I got the idea, because it had their picture, their star rating, and their rarest card. We're obviously not doing the ant rule here. So my thing was like the duelist's picture they want to represent themselves and their history at Duel Day. So that's where I got the idea from Battle City, which is really cool. It's really dope to have that, because if you go to the Battle City rules, participants must have a ranking of at least 5 out of 8 stars or level 3 out of 5 in the English dub anime to receive a free duel disc, which was required to participate. So that's where, again, we're not doing all of that, but I love the idea of having a thing like that with Kaiba. So that's how I got the idea of, I made these last year, and then I put everyone's history on it, then updated it accordingly and such. So that is how those things came to be. I think they're really cool. Another way to just keep track of things going forward for Duel Day. So again, you go to the information screen. So if you go here, you should be able to go to the Duel Day history. Back started in 2017. Gives a little synopsis of how it all started. If you follow us with the WWE Pick'ems and fantasy football, there's a trophy and medals that go out to winners and other prizes such. It's a very fun once a year event wherever we get together, have some good times. So since 2017, this is just the overall champions who crowned the overall winners of Duel Days. So you see from 2017 on, myself, Eli 2 times in a row, myself, Andrea, then co-champs Cedric and Patrick, myself, and then Patrick won it last year. The free-for-all champions are the people who have won the free-for-alls. Like you said, again, pretty synopsis here. It's one of the craziest duels and funnest duels and challenging duels you'll ever do. So again, really try that out. And then you see the winners of that event here as well. Tag teams. Just tag team duels. People who've won the tag team titles. We started doing random pickings, I think 2020, just to make it more fun, because these couple years, everyone just picking their own partner. So then you see the tag team champions here as well. One-on-one champions, that's basically the singles tournament like we talked about. Single bracket elimination, Swiss, whichever one fits the fancy. And then you see the one-on-one champs here. And then just like any event, you know, they do top 32, top 16, depending on the people. We just do top 4s. So then you have the top 4 duelist of those said events, or the top 4 duelists of the duel day in general. So that's a really cool thing that we do there. Just real talk about last year's duel day, just a quick synopsis, because that video got deleted, unfortunately. Byron won the free-for-all last year. Patrick and Mitchell won the tag team championship last year. And Patrick won the singles championship. So Patrick won. Yeah. So Patrick won 2 out of the 3 events. It was kind of crazy. So Patrick won 2 out of the 3. So then he was crowned the champion that year. Patrick's second overall dual day championship. His first one outright, because Patrick's first one, there was a tie with Cedric, because the rare instance of Cedric winning an event, them both being on a team, and then Patrick winning the event. Never happened before. Only happened 1 year ever in 2022, so that was crazy. Byron last year came in first in the free-for-all and came in second on the tag team. He was actually my tag team partner in that regard. So him winning an event and him coming second, that got him in an individual event, that got him in second place. Mitch won the tag team title with Patrick, and then he was in the semifinals of the one-on-ones because I beat him in the one-on-ones. And then he did all right in the singles. I mean, in the free-for-all, so hence why he was third. And then myself last year, I was in second place in the free-for-all. I was in second place in the tag duel, and I was in second place in the one-on-one singles. So that is why I was still in the top 4, because I came in second place in every event, but I didn't win an event last year. So again, it's one of those things where you're trying to do your best. Obviously, nobody wants to be last, and even with myself, like, second place and everything isn't crazy. Yeah, the copyright from last year, gonna really try and avoid that. Gonna have we might be having some heat being played from the EVP of the L7C during Duel Day, so stay tuned for that. So it will be live streamed. It will actually be live streamed on a new camera that hasn't been used yet, so that's going to be really cool. And they shouldn't copyright Justin's music because it's Justin's music, but we'll go from there. But no, so it was really fun. So that's how the top 4 came to be last year. So then if you go look at, let's talk about some of the people who have been at Duel Days, maybe coming to Duel Days, and people's records. And we'll start from the bottom, then work our way up. So Lucas is a potential new competitor at Duel Day. He is one of the Captain Byron Mitchell's friends. If you see, he wanted his thing to be Kariba, so he really doesn't have any history on here. He hasn't done anything at a Duel Day because he hasn't been one. So we'll see. And then I also put, when I did their names, like the Japanese version too, just because, you know, we're cultured over here and anime is a big part of the stuff we do. So I thought that'd be a cool little thing. So we're excited to see what a new person like Lucas does. If he attends, he should be attending to Byron's thing. Another person, Marcus, who will be attending this year. One of Byron's friends will be very excited. It's very cool seeing someone do a free-for-all for a first time, especially of this magnitude. I know Byron has been showing them how the free-for-all goes, and with 3 people, it's crazy, but imagine 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. So that's crazy as well. So these are some of the new people coming in. Nikki she's in the stream. Shout out to Nikki. Nikki has been to two Duel Days, and he won't be able to be at this one. He's vacationing, but again, just talking about Nikki real quick, he played Blue Eyes last year. This would have been the perfect year. I would have actually said he could have potentially been a dark horse to win because Blue Eyes got so much great support, like tier 1 support, since the last duel day, that if Nikki would have played his cards right, Nikki probably would have had the strongest deck, because the Blue Eyes structure deck literally catapulted Blue Eyes to the meta. So then if you would have added maybe a little Prima here and there, that would have been a tier 1 deck in that sense. So Nikki he would have been a dark horse to win just because of the strength of his deck. If you've seen the previews, if you've seen me play with Blue Eyes on these streams, you've seen how strong they are, and that's just pure Blue Eyes. So Nikki would have been a real dark horse, and then he could be a dark horse next year, because next year then the Kaiba Man and all that stuff, that's already stuff out, and he already has the stuff. It's just making the deck. So again, he would have been a real dark horse. Chris Damel, highly doubt we'll ever see him at a duel day ever again, but he's still on here. He had a 1 top 4 finish. That was in 2017. He finished in 2nd place. He was a stall deck, control deck, really get underneath your skin type deck that if he goes, you couldn't do anything. So, and he was a really good player. Got 2nd place, and then his previous duel days haven't done so well. And then we just haven't seen him since. Another person, again, Ryan. I haven't seen him in years. He played 1 duel day probably like 2019-ish. I think his was the last one, him and the next person up. He really hasn't done anything at a duel day as well in terms of winning. But last time he played, he had like Cubics, and Cubics would be very problematic. And also he had the Layer of Darkness cards. That was the last time that he played, that we've seen him, really, when Layer of Darkness came out. And that deck can actually be very problematic. If he would have showed up with that and tributing our monsters, that, again, tributing, there's nothing you could do about that. His friend, Jeremy Beach, he was running a Cyber Dragon deck. Haven't seen him in years as well. He hasn't been able to win an event at duel day or to place in the top 4, but he was running old Cyber Dragon deck. Justin Akindel, the EVP of the L7C, made his first duel day debut last year, playing his Elemental Hero Neos deck, and Justin had a pretty good showing. There was times where he was in first place in the free-for-all. Him and Cedric were a pretty good tag team as well. There were times where he could have won the free-for-all with his Chaos Emperor Dragon. Yes, Chaos Emperor Dragon. With that big burn and Rainbow Neos and things of that nature. So he had a pretty good showing. He hasn't had that many new cards released since last year. There are a couple hero support cards coming probably in 2026. But playtesting, his new strategy, new card, new different ratios, it's been really good. Heroes are very explosive. At any time they could pop off, and you're facing against big monsters. He runs the big monster way. He doesn't do the control way. He's trying to run you over, attack you, and make you take double damage. Eli, one of the twins, he's won the event twice. Tag team championship twice with his brother. Singles champ twice. Top 4 finish 3 times. He hasn't been around in the past couple years. He may be here this year. We don't know. He lives closer now. So we'll see if that. Very good player. Him and his brother, Adi, who was going to come, but then family obligation, something happened with his family. Again, this is planned a year in advance. It's usually typically the 2nd August of the month. If you've been following us, you know that August is a big get-together month for us because we have SummerSlam. It's usually the first weekend of August. Duel Day is the 2nd weekend of August. Our draft is the last weekend of August. It's pretty set in stone. Like right now, we could already say that Duel Day next year is the 2nd Saturday of August, whatever it is. But Adi finished in the top 5 champs, single championship, tag team championship twice, things of that nature. Very good player. He played Paleozoics, Toads, Control, water-based decks. That's what he was playing. Spencer, he's won the tag team. He won the first tag team championship with Patrick. He's finished in the top 4 twice. Still is eluding a singles championship or a free-for-all, or a just dual day overall championship. He is the pendulum player of players that we see. So pendulums are always something because, again, they can always pop off too. And now, big change. Now he has Magispector Unicorn at 3, and there's been some other pendulum monsters that have come back. Obviously, Electromite is still banned, but There's been some Pendulum Monsters out. We'll see what he does there. Andrea, the only person ever who was a quote unquote rookie, first time ever playing really Yu-Gi-Oh like that and winning in the same year. Though she won the Duel Day Championship her first time ever, which is absolutely crazy. Won the free for all, and then won the tag team title that same day in her top 4 finishes. One top 4 finish, and that is because she won it all. First female to win Duel Day as well. And again, was a rookie straight out the gate that year with a lot of training. We put in a lot of hours learning her deck, learning how to play, and she was able to come out on top. She unfortunately will not be able to be here this year due to some stuff going on at home, but hopefully we'll get her back next year, and we'll see how that goes. She's really good. Next up, the Dragon Ball expert, Mitchell Oso. Past 2 years, Mitch has won a new event each year. We'll see if that trend continues. He won the free-for-all 2 years ago. He won the tag for the first time last year with Patrick. He's finished in the top 4 twice. Again, he's won a new event each year. So now that he's won 2 out of the 3 events, he's just looking for a singles championship and trying to win a Duel Day championship. Cybers have gotten new cards. They got 2 specific cards for them since last year, but they've gotten a whole bunch of adjacent cards, a whole bunch of machine support that they've gotten. So with Mitchell, again, Cybers at any point, it doesn't matter what deck you're using. If Cybers have the right, Cybers could kill you at any time. They're one of the few decks that they could kill you at any time. Obviously, the power of Clockwork Knight. If Clockwork Knight gets played and you can't stop it, you're going to lose because he will take all your monsters, and that's game. Like, that's just it. There's nothing you can do about it. If Clockwork Knight gets played, it's game over. Last year, Mitchell had the move of the century, banishing 90% of everyone's decks in the free-for-all. So he probably banished up to 350 plus monsters last year, which was absolutely crazy. In that, again, with Inferno Tempest, one of the craziest moves you will ever see in history. So that was really cool in that. We go on to the current champ, Patrick Carlson, Pat Rick TV. Like I said, he had the co-championship. That was his first time winning with Cedric. They tied, and then Patrick just won last year. Patrick, right now, most tag team championship, has 5 tag team championships. That's really his niche right now. And has 2 singles championships. And then he's finished in the top 4 6 times. So he has been doing really well. And then he finally has broken through that glass ceiling, and has started to win the events, the overall event. So again, tag team championship, there's no one better than him right now. And tags with 5 championships there. And since the last time that we played Duel Day to now, he has also been someone who's benefited from a lot of support. Utopia has gotten a lot of support in the past year. So they'll be very interesting to see how he integrates that into this event this coming weekend. The captain of the L7C, the leader, Byron Mitchell. Byron is the current free-for-all champion from last year. He's won it twice. I know I said Andrea is the first person to win Duel Day as a rookie, but she's not the first person to win an event as a rookie. Byron, in his very first Duel Day, won Duel Day, and one of the bigger Duel Days ever with Owakazi, hence why that picture is always there. It's coded. So he has won the free-for-all twice. He's won the tag team championship with Andrea, and then he's finished in the top 4 times. He's looking for his first Duel Day championship, and he's looking for a singles championship. So he's winning. He's same situation, kind of like Mitch. They're winning stuff. They're both just trying to break through the glass ceiling to win a new event or to win the day overall. But again, they do very well at these type of events. Next person, the anime expert, one of the founders of the L7C, Cedric Ware. He is a champion in this, the co-champ with Patrick. He's won the free-for-all championship once. He's won the tag team championship once. He's finished in the top 4 once. He hasn't won the singles yet. Cedric's another person who has benefited. He's the only person whose both decks have benefited from new support from last year's Duel Day to this year's Duel Day. Everyone knows how dangerous Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is. Everyone knows how crazy the Gem Knight burn can be. If you've paid attention the past couple months, you just saw how good the new Gem Knight support is as it got third place at the NWACQ, helping that person go to Worlds. When Cedric probably has access to all those cards. All the new Jirac stuff that's mixed with his dinos is very dangerous. At any point in time, he could drop a meteor on someone's head and lose all their monsters. The more special summon monsters on the field, the better for Lapis Lazuli. You lose 500 for each. Cedric, I mean, he tried to win the free for all on turn 1 because there was enough monsters on the field to just go it out. If people remember, he had the Black Rose, the tokens, and all that. So he's benefited from getting so much new support from both his decks. He is a big player that could potentially do a lot of crazy things at this next duel day. Who's the last person? Oh, me. I thought there was a person before me. So me, like I said, I came in second in every event last year. I've won this event three times. People have seen a pattern. Apparently it happens every 3 years. So if that pattern stays true, I will not be winning this year. Because if you look at the kind of weird, if you look at the duel day thing, it's every 3 years. So if that stays course, I will not be winning this year. But again, I came in second in everything last year. Free for all, I've won it 3 times. I've won the free for all the most so far. Yep, I've won the most so far. I'm the only person to win the free for all back-to-back years in 2019 and 2020. I think I'm tied for second in tag championships behind Taiwa, Adi, and Eli because they both won it twice, and I've won it twice as well. And then singles, I am tied for first because singles, I've won it twice. Eli won it twice. Adi's won it twice. Patrick's won it twice. So, and I've finished in the top 4. Hey, that's what I like to hear, man. Again. So, and the free-for-all winning that's crazy, especially with 10 plus people. But, yep, so there's no real event that I really dominate per se. I just try and be competitive in all of them. So, again, 3 free-for-all, 2 tags, 2 singles, 4 top 7 finishes. I am the only person who has won every event. That I'm pretty sure. Mitchell hasn't won a singles yet. Patrick hasn't won a free-for-all. Byron hasn't won a singles. Hey, there's nothing wrong with being a team player, man. That's what the world needs. Cedric hasn't won a single. So there's a lot of people who have won 2 events, but I'm the only person who has won 3 of the events. Andrew hasn't won a singles. Adi hasn't won a free-for-all. Eli hasn't won a free-for-all. So, yeah, so that's really the bio. And then who knows who else shows up. I highly doubt anyone else will come, but you never know. You never know. So with that going into duel day, again, people who've gotten... Excuse me, I even have to talk about my own stuff. I talked about Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes got a whole bunch of support. In terms of like my Dark Magician Blue Eyes deck, I've only integrated really like 2 other cards because it matches with everything else. But I do have a Blue Eyes deck that's pretty updated. I guess with me, the best support that I've gotten in the past year is the Primite engine for normal monsters. That thing has been really great for normal monsters. Galaxy Eyes has gotten some stuff from the past year as well. Dark Magician specifically has not gotten anything in 2025. In America, they just got announced like 3 new cards, and they're very controversial. Some people like them, some people hate them. But we're probably not going to get them in America until 2026. So I won't have access to any of those Dark Magician new cards. And depending on what I do play on Duel Day, I mean, obviously Dark Magician will make an appearance one way or another. But that's terms of I've gotten some, but not as much as others. So people who... I think the answer is going to stay the same until they win. It's kind of like sports. Like with last year, Obviously, Patrick and Cedric got that once, and then Patrick had to get the one by himself outright. Patrick did that, so he's broken through that glass ceiling. So now you're looking at people, you're looking at the captain, and you're looking at the Dragon Ball expert. Both of them breaking through. Maybe they finally get their first Duel Day championship. That changes their whole thing in terms of our group competitions with each other. Because then if Mitchell, let's say if Mitchell wins Duel Day, Mitchell's won, he would win fantasy football twice, where he's the only other person besides Justin to do that. Then he has a Duel Day championship, and then he's won the belt a couple of times. So that'd be really, really cool. Byron, if he wins Duel Day, Byron's one of the people who's won the belt one of the most times in WWE. But in the other stuff, he hasn't been able to win an outright thing. So if he wins Duel Day, he'll have multiple year-long reigns as the Pick'em champ and a Duel Day championship underneath his belt. And then he'll be chasing the other stuff. So that'd be really cool as well. But then, heck, maybe Patrick repeats. If Patrick repeats as the Duel Day champ, that would give him 3 overall Duel Day championships. He'd be tied for the most all time with myself. So maybe that happens as well. And then if you have that tied at 3, then I'm tied at 3, then maybe the next year it's like, oh, maybe one of us breaks that record. So that's things as well. Or maybe you have someone who just makes the right play at the right time. Someone like a Justin who burns someone with one of the Neos fusions at the right time to win an event. Or someone who just comes out of the blue, like with Marcus and Lucas. The only person who knows what they play or how they play is Byron. Adding another body of someone you don't know how they play and having to potentially defend them or do that and that causes a lot of stuff. So it's a lot of strategy that goes into these events. So maybe one of them wins an event. Maybe one of them wins the whole thing in their first time. It's been done before. It has been. So that's been really cool. Going to be a lot cleaner too. Got an app for round robins and all of that. So that's really dope. And tournament brackets, I've been testing that out. So that's really cool in itself. But yeah, I mean, new people coming in. There could be more new people next year too. I mean, Byron didn't tell one of his other friends he might be coming next time. Maybe more people get word of mouth and we bring some more people in or some people come back. Or maybe if Eli does come, Eli's a very good player. Who knows what he'd be playing? Maybe he comes, shocks the world, and he wins. Who knows? Or prediction time. Who's winning what? Or maybe, again, or maybe Cedric comes in and wins some stuff. So I don't want to do chalk picks because that's boring. This is based off of decks and skills. Because there's a lot of people who have a lot stronger decks than other people, but they're not as skilled or intuitive or creative as the other duelists. Free for all. I'll pick 2 for each. Free for all, I think if no one stops the Gem Knight stuff, Cedric's going to win. I think Cedric will win the free for all if the Gem Knight stuff goes off unhinged. I mean, just casually, a field alone can outburn me for 3K. Life points. I know life points in obviously Swiss and like the tournaments they mean something. When you hit 0, you lose. But as long as you don't hit 0, you're in the game. Life points are so crucial in free-for-alls, man. And he has a monster in ways to just burn everyone to hell. So I would say with his new stuff, I would say Cedric is probably a favorite-ish to win the free-for-all. My second pick then would actually be Byron repeating, depending on how he plays Burn. Everyone knows he's going to play some version of Burn. So I think I would go Cedric and then Byron there as a close second. I think that would finish 1 and 2 in the free-for-all. Tag team, so from the people who are coming, it looks like there's going to be 10. So it'll probably be 5 teams again. I think I don't. I think the person, not to go chalk, but I'll pick again two. I think the person who's tagged with Mitchell is going to win the tags. The reason being is that Mitchell's Cyber Dragon deck is a very complementary deck for first or second with a partner. A partner can do what they need to do, or if they don't have anything, Mitch can step in, summon his stuff that you guys haven't seen. I was playing with him for hours last weekend, so he's got some stuff, and he's working on some more stuff. But I think his deck is the best complementary of hey, you need the whole board, fine. I got the board breakers ready. I got the destruction ready. I got the power bond ready. Or you need me to do some stuff, fine. I can go King Regulus and all of that. Even if he has the way his deck is now, even if he has a bad hand for him, he might not have starters, but he's breaking something. So I think whoever is Mitch's partner in the tag team duels is going to win. And then second with that would be, would be Patrick. But I think Mitch's tag team partner is going to, Mitch and his tag team partner, whoever that is going to win. And then Patrick's tag team partner will come in second. And that's just based off playing and what I know of people's decks and obviously the unpredictability of it. Singles. It's tough because I don't know anything about Marcus or Lucas's stuff. I won't be seeing it for the first time. They can just come in and blow things out the water. To stay, oh man, I think the singles final four, who I think are gonna actually, just because of their deck power in the singles. I do think Mitch is going to be there. I think Patrick is going to be there with his new stuff and Mitch's new stuff. I do think Cedric is going to either deck. I mean, come on, man. Gem Knight's got third place and then WCQs. Come on. But then Dinos, if Tyranno flips yourself over, you're dead. So I think it's going to be my dark horse for singles would actually be Byron. So he'd be the fourth one. My dark horse for him would be him because as much as we joke that he didn't have the engine, half the engine last time, Ubel just won the world championship last year. Let's just be honest. Ubel Fiendsmith, but Ubel is a big part. They won due to one thing. I say you can't stop Clockwork Knight. Once Clockwork Knight's played, you're going to lose. It's the same with Nightmare Pain. It's the exact same with Nightmare Pain. If you let Nightmare Pain get activated and it stays there, you're going to lose. Because people, now expert players know, but people don't know. If your monsters are in attack mode in the battle phase and Nightmare Pain's on there, you have to attack. There's no, I'm going to skip my battle phase and go to main phase 2. No. If your monsters are in attack and Nightmare Pain is there, you have to attack. You have to attack into Byron's monsters, and you take the damage. There's no negating that stuff. There's no like, oh, I'm going to negate. No, because those are continuous effects. Now, if you negate the card, you're cool. But most people aren't going to negate those cards. Even if you negate Ubel, Nightmare Pain, you're still taking the damage. And then the worst is when you put yourself in defense and Byron attacks into you, you're still taking the damage. There's no activations in any of that. So I think that is a very, very dark horse thing because most people don't know that. And if you're playing that, you're just going to sit there like, damn, I can't do anything. Now, if you have cards that negate attacks or make your battle damage 0, it can cause some stuff. But also, Byron is the only person out of all of the decks. It takes a bit, but he's the only person who can use super polymerization to the maximum out of all of us and being able to super poly in whole field and you taking damage for that. So I think Byron's a very dark horse to win the one-on-ones, because if people aren't familiar playing that, and that's if Byron even plays Yubel. I'm just basing off of the decks. I'm basing off of the best decks I know the competitors have. So that's if he even plays Yubel. I know he's been testing it extensively. Heck, I've been helping him test the for the past couple months with it anytime we can. So I know what it can do. I know what he's trying to get to. They got some small support, not Yubel, but like Dark Fiends and all of that. But he might come out with something different. I mean, he might have a mix of, who knows, maybe Branded comes back. Branded with Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade's a heck of a card. Maybe he does the Metal Morph Burn, but I do think the Yubel thing, if it gets the field it needs to get and can survive, because Yubel at any point, your opponent's field can get super polyed and it's over. So I think that would make Byron the dark horse. I think things that got in Byron's ready, and Byron will admit to it, is his own. He had some misfews. He could have won last year. In the tag duel in the championship, he had a misplay that cost me and Byron the game. I mean, he could have won Duel Day last year. So it's just he has to just play within himself, take your time, look at the cards. Yubel, still super strong. Byron will be my dark horse to win singles, and I think the four, Byron, Cedric, Mitch, and Patrick. So if I'm going off of that, I think Byron has a board who, if you don't pay attention, Byron and Mitch have the best ability just to clear an entire board and you can't do anything about it. Period. Those two have the best. Clockwork Knight and Nightmare Pain Super Polymerization. Byron and Mitch have the best way to clear any board in the game. Patrick and Cedric can make the most explosive boards with their new stuff. With the Utopia stuff, the one card starter with Gum Lindenberg and all the new stuff. Patrick and can make a very consistent board with that. But hey, sometimes consistency doesn't work. But Patrick has the most consistent stuff with the new Utopia stuff. Right behind him would be Cedric and the dinosaurs. If Cedric gets the dinosaurs going, he can get just as many big monsters as Patrick. Obviously not like of high attack, but of devastating effects as well. I mean, nothing screams anything like a Tyranno flip you face down non-targeting. You lose everything, you're dead. So I think those two have the most explosive boards out there. Pendulums are still explosive as well. And then even, what's Justin going to do? That's true. Justin could be a wild horse too, Nikki. I mean, he has one of the strongest boss monsters out of all of us here with Rainbow Neos. And he has one of the most consistent ways to get to it with the new stuff, with the tinkles that we've made in his deck. Obviously, the Neos Fusion's a hell of a card, but he has other ways to get to Rainbow Neos. There's other crazier fusions in his deck that have been put in. Shining Wingman Neos, Wake Up Elemental Hero. Justin could play Spoiler. He really could. Because Rainbow Neos' 3 effects to just get rid of everything are the best type because they are non-targeting. And they're non-destruction. So unless your card is unaffected by your opponent's cards, your cards are all going bye-bye. He can get rid of all the monsters on the field, get rid of all the spells, and shuffle cards in the graveyard. And he can get to the card consistently, and he can recycle it. So, Justin is a dark horse in that. Justin's thing is that he does play. He has been playing online. But online sometimes different than actually shuffling the real cards. Like, it's a completely different thing than actually playing with the real cards. Because when you're playing with the real cards, you're not going to get that thing shown on your screen saying, do you want to activate an effect? You need to know what you have to do. That's the big difference with playing online than playing in real life. And I think that would hinder him. But, I mean, he has the tools. Chaos Emperor Dragon goes off in the free-for-all at the right time. That's a game. He has some of the same stuff as Byron. Byron has Spirit of Yubel. He has Spirit of Neos to get his stuff going. He just needs to resource manage. I think that's the big thing in these type of things. You got to resource manage and not blow your load all in one turn because you're going against 6 to 7, 8, 9 other people. But Justin could play spoiler. He has the cards too. So yeah, that's what Justin can do. Rainbow Neos, man, one of the best cards out there. So, and that's what then Eli. I mean, that's where I think it's at. This is just a fun little prediction thing, but it's always anybody's game. Someone could come in there. All of us could draw terrible hands the whole day, and then one person's just going off. It happens. That's the point of the game. That's not the point of the game, but that is the game. So I think anyone has the ability to win. It's just a matter of who is going to use their resources better. It really is all in the heart of the cards, man. Like, I know people, it's true. It is true, because there have been times where you just can't help it. You just draw terrible, and there's nothing you can do. That's why you deck prep, and you can make your deck as consistent as possible and still have a bad hand. Or you can make your deck as consistent as possible and your opponent just has the better hand. Or they outskill you. It's just the way it goes. With Yu-Gi-Oh, all you want to do is you want to give yourself a chance to compete. That's all you want to do. Maybe, we'll see. With the strategies too, man, there's a lot, again, I feel like Marcus, Lucas, and Justin can really cause some firestorms. If Eli comes, that can cause some firestorms. Even if he doesn't come, like Marcus and Lucas in itself, only Byron knows what they use. So whenever they play their first card, we're going to be like, oh shit, this is what they're using? Who wasn't prepared for that? And then I guess even because I did come in second in all the things, even with myself, I would say that I'm one, if not the most intuitive player. I like making things out of nothing, like just putting random concepts of decks together and making them work in a way. Like I know the game pretty. Ooh, that looked terrible right there. I do know the game pretty well. I don't have. Well, I can't say that. The Blue Eyes Pure deck is honestly right now my strongest deck, just because it is the most meta deck. But that's not what I want to play. I've been actually contemplating. I got 2 decks upstairs that I need to finish touches on. And I think for everyone too, because again, your free for all is a lot different than tag. Tag's a lot different than singles. So what I've done personally is just like I've had the decks on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Neuron app, which if you entered official tournaments, that's what you've had to put. Like switching, like, all right, this is my free for all deck when it's just a Monday night. This is my free for all deck when it's duel day and there's more than 4 people. This is what I would use in tags. This is what I would use in singles. I would say too, depending on the decks that I do play, let's just say I play Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, along with Utopia and Cyber Dragon, are the 3 decks out here who can get to the big over 10,000 attack points relatively consistently, if uninterrupted. Mitch with Power Bond, Patrick with Double or Nothing, or the new Utopic Zexal, myself with number 62 Galaxy Eyes. So Galaxy Eyes can be very explosive on there as well. The Dark Magician Blue Eyes one. That deck, the more time you give it, the worse. I will say, the more time you give that deck, the worse your chances are of beating it, because it's a mid-range deck. So it's not super, super explosive. It can be. Sometimes 1 Dragoon's enough, but it's not really enough like that in 2025. But if you keep that deck in the game, now with Primite Drill Beam especially, you're getting banished there, you're getting banished with Circle, you're staring at a Dragoon burns you, then you attack directly and it still negates, and obviously the super polymerization. People don't realize how, I've said it in a million videos on the L7C YouTube, check it out. If you run any sort of Dark Magician, you have to run super polymerization, because Dark Magician with a Warrior, Dark Magician with a Dragon, Dark Magician with a Spellcaster. just to name a few. When the new Dark Magician fusion comes out, Dark Magician of Destruction, most people summon it the other way. But the fusion version is just Dark Magician and a lighter Dark Monster. Come on now. So you gotta run. Super Poly is a very dangerous card in my deck, and I know that. Just because of the cards that I run. And obviously, too, I'm one of the few people who can get a full power Chaos Angel on the field. And that card is extremely deadly if it's a full power. Because if it's a full power with both effects, the only way you're getting rid of it, spells and traps. And then obviously another like the Blackluster Soldier, Link Monster, things like that. So, and then Galaxy Eyes, they can just do death by blasting you. So we just have to highlight that. I'm not foreseeing it this go. We'll see. But I do pay attention to Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot. I know the intricacies of people's decks. I help people. I mean, I want people to be better, and I have no problem playtesting anyone to help them get better. I mean, maybe going forward, obviously, depending on my personal life and schedule with the podcast and all that, actually go into locals and not support and actually compete, and that's a goal for more stuff. But again, it all depends on my stuff going on here at the house. But it'll be very interesting to see because I've worked with Cedric a little bit earlier. I've worked with Byron. I know what Patrick's stuff's doing. I know what everyone's stuff's capable of. And I think in the book that I read, if everyone gets to full power, your full power board, who has the strongest ceiling? Who has the highest ceiling? So who has the highest ceiling in their deck, and whose deck has enough to bring the ceiling down to their level? That's something you gotta think about. Highest ceiling decks: Patrick, Cedric, Mitchell. That's going off of what the people's stuff I know. People who could bring those decks down due to traps and stuff. Myself, Byron. And then I'll go back to Spencer real quick. Because I don't know what he's probably using pendulum, stuff like that. Do not sleep. Do have some spell and trap removal. Time Pendulum Graph is annoying. And do not sleep on Secret Village of the Spellcasters when you're playing him one-on-one. That's a signature card. I should change this card to Secret Village of the Spellcaster in all honesty. You get Secret Village locked, you're out the game. You can't play spells. Because most people, I mean, if you don't have a Spellcaster, you can't play spells. So that's something like, it's going to be very, I know, it's going to be very fun. I think I am going to live stream it obviously, but I'm also going to record it. So just in case, I don't think YouTube's going to delete it because apparently I still haven't, they didn't even give me a valid excuse because it couldn't even been the background music because the background music was the same. Has been the same the past couple years. So I'll also record it locally too to have the copy of it. But yeah, people got a lot of crazy things. There's going to be a lot of intricacies, especially that free-for-all. There's going to be some chain link 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10s. And then there's just going to get to a point where everything's dead and everyone's back to their basis of base monsters. Mitch might have one Cyber Dragon or a Cyber Dragon fusion on the field. After Patrick might have one regular Utopia or one upgraded Utopia on the field. I might just have one Dark Magician or a Dark Magician upgrade or a Blue Eyes or a Blue Eyes upgrade or another thing on the field. Or maybe just one Galaxy Eyes. Cedric might just have Tyranno. Byron might just have Ubel or the Trains or 3 back row. Justin might just be there with Neos. So Marcus and Lucas might be coming with a whole bunch of stuff we've never even seen. So that's what's really exciting about Duel Day. So make sure y'all check that out. This Saturday, I'm going to be live streaming on the L7C YouTube. It should start at 12 o'clock. And it's going to be a fun time, man. Can't wait to see everyone. Can't wait to play. It's a great time to catch up with each other. See some cool moves. And then, yeah, then we duel, man. Then we duel. With that being said, thank y'all for watching the L7C Duel Day Preview. This will be up on YouTube as well. Probably tomorrow. for people who didn't watch it and you just want to watch the replay. But with that being said, take care. Everyone, have a good night. Tomorrow's Friday. And y'all take it easy.